was the IT network, CenturyLink, at ASU. So they used best value for it. They actually they submitted it out. They didn't know what they needed, but they just said, we need someone to cover all the IT networking for our campus. Only one vendor submitted because the other said that's too unrealistic. And they said, oh, we can't run best value with just one vendor. And we said, yeah, you can. You're doing it right now, right? So just compete them against what you're doing. If they're better than what you're doing, then you hire them. If not, you stay with what you're doing in-house. They ran the process. They hire the vendor. They're happy. Then a year later, they begin to complain. Because what happened is these people replaced in-house people. And those in-house people got put in other places. They didn't lose their job. After things keep going and the boss leaves and a new boss comes, these people begin talking to this new boss and telling them how bad the IT network provider is. And we have client issues now. There's too many outages. They're not invoicing us in a timely manner. In fact, they're double billing us. And the whole department feels that this IT vendor is a non-performer. And they go through a couple months of this. And the vendor keeps telling them, we're a high performer. I don't know what these people are talking about. Blaming certain people, saying it's all political. And eventually it gets back to us. Because they say, you did the process, you hired them, now you fix it. And Dr. Dean, after hearing all this and how angry they were, he said, well, if you're this angry, why don't you just cut the project and rebid it? But he says, before you do, let's look at metrics to see what's going on. And so we go to the vendor and we tell them how to find simple metrics to simplify what's going on. What do we find out? These issues, how many outages are you having? Find how many outages there are. When they got in, they had 37 a year. Since then, they've had 11. And none of them are caused by the vendor. They're all caused by the client, and they can identify exactly what the client did and didn't follow the advice of the expert that caused it. Next, they said our invoice time, they found it out, is 21 and a half days. We told them in the contract it would be 30. Double billings, 29 out of 1,400. And they're all caused by the client. It's because the client has two methods of payment, and instead of letting the vendor handle all of it, they have a P card and an invoicing. They wanted to maintain control of some of it. And because of that, they were using two systems, and it was caused by the client. After they showed these metrics, do you think anyone talked or complained anymore? No, they actually had a meeting to show all the metrics. And key ones, they quickly showed them cost over time. They hired, the ASU is doing this for 12.3. By the time they were having these issues, it went down to 9.8. They were providing the same, better service. Customer satisfaction higher, uptime is higher, number of outages down. The capacity for wireless is from 9 to 93%. And the biggest one, IT spending ratio. They were only spending 6% on new equipment, 94% to maintain. When they are doing this complaining, it was 56% on new equipment, 44% maintaining. The client was stunned. They never even knew how much they were paying this vendor and that they are saving money. What did they decide to do after this? Re-sign the contract with a caveat. They wanted put into the contract that them as a client had full control and could manage, direct, and control the vendor. Now, you as a vendor, thinking this will happen, what would you do? They signed it because they realized something. How much control does a client have when there's transparency? No. Because the second they speak and they manage, direct, and control, you will document that. And you'll document the cost of that management, direction, and control. And once the client knows that they are accountable for everything that they tell them to do, no client will speak. And the expert has complete control over the project, no matter what the contract says. In transparency, expertise has the power. And it's actually in the best interest to give that power to the experts or the client.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more content. If you have any questions about the best value approach or for Dr. Dean, leave them in the comment section below and we'll get to them in a later video. Thanks, we'll see you next time.